Hi, I'm Kelly at Book and Paper Arts, and today I have a flip through of my latest altered book. I've been working on it for almost 4 months, not continuously, but on and off, as and when I've been able to dip into it. I took a vintage Italian bank book with plenty of stamping and distress, and I've just gone page by page, layout by layout, adding paper, ephemera, and other mixed media. I actually have process videos here on YouTube of all of these layouts. You've probably seen some of them, but this book has just turned into something special, and I really want to give it one last look before I move on to another project. If you like altered books, journal arts, vintage books, paper, and other ephemera, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and be sure and turn on the notifications, and you will have more of them in your life. Let's flip through an altered book. I started off with the cover, which is a faded teal. It's got some grunge there, and I added a paper napkin with these dusty colored roses and the green that picks up the green in the cover. I just pulled it across here and made a border for Mr. Bird. I wonder what the Italian word for bird is. Over here, I added a background of a French, kind of a certificate from 1895, and it was from an art expo. On this side is the original French stamping and handwriting that is just adding layer. It's so fun. These two ladies are from a French fashion magazine called La Mode Illustrée, and they're from 1882. I'm pretty sure they are at the opera or some other show here, but now they are engaging with this lady, who is Miss Wales on Ogden's Guinea Gold cigarettes. This is a cigarette card from around 1900, 1905. I think that they are admiring her, and who would not? Because that is one jaunty hat. Well done, Miss Wales. And I've got some found poetry. The fairies, very inquisitive, peeked and pried around. They've got nothing on me. This hydrangea is from a vintage botanical catalog. I added a butterfly with some pinky purple colors, which pick up the pinky purple colors here in this lady's wings. She's from a book of poetry from 1856. I think she's lovely. This is kind of got a Poe feeling to it, not the least because there is a postage stamp of Edgar Allan Poe, looking forlorn, as was his wont. I don't know if that is a raven. It could be a common crow. Bird friends, help me out. Let's see. These are some arches that I printed on, arches and ruins that I printed on some tissue paper, and it makes a nice, mysterious background. These pages are anchored by wildflowers on either side. I rough tore them and then just glued them, leaving this border in the middle, which sets off this angel who's engaging with this. This is a French holy card. And I like that the muted colors here pick up the gold muted colors here. And that helps draw the eye from that to that. This angel is a little different. This is from a photograph taken in Turin, a cemetery in Turin, Turin is where I bought this bank book. And I printed the angel on tissue paper. Now it's gone down very translucent, and you can see the stamping underneath, which adds some interest and layers to that page. while over here is a vintage Holy card from 1886. On top of an old receipt, the stamping, which picks up the stamping throughout. I made a pocket from these butterflies, just from a field guide to butterflies, and I cut away everything that didn't look like a pocket. Inside are 2 cards on celluloid. This is hand-painted and hand-written. It's a calling card for Pierre Gabillier. What's it say? I can't read it. Okay. Maybe his address. Over here is another card on celluloid, and this one is also hand-painted and handwritten, and it says, Precious Souvenir. And I do like how those muted colors are picking up the dusty colors throughout. This photograph, this is from around the 1880s, and she is on a photograph that was made in Liverpool. And I put that over an old French receipt from 1899. You just see a little bit of the handwriting sticking out there. This page started off with a border, just some rough, torn text, and now it's kind of a bench for these ladies who are from a magazine here in Britain called The Girl's Own Paper, and they're from the 1880s as well. And they have the cutest little dog there. Over here is a mourning card. You can tell because it has a black border, and it says In Memoriam. And then on the inside, I've added, for some contrast, these vintage bees from a dictionary. This thistle, I love how this looks. It really just lets that stamping show through, and the leaves are pointing outward, guiding our eyes off to something in the distance here. It's also picking up the thistles on this previous layout, helping the theme, the feel of the book hold together. This is a pocket, again made from some of those wildflower prints. I have some of these wildflower pages on my website. They are printable scans and they are free. So if you'd like to add some wildflowers to your own pages, go get them. Inside the pocket is another French Holy card with an angel. And this is handwritten. It's a prayer to Saint Joseph. I just love this teeny tiny handwriting. I'm impressed. And then this border of flowers, when I tuck it in here, now we have flowers on this side meeting the flowers on that side. Here are more flowers on this handmade card. I didn't make it by hand. I bought it at a vintage postcard show. And I think this is from like 1912, if I remember correctly. And it's got the different flowers. And it's got this distressed silk fringe. And I've left the distressed silk fringe on because I think it's part of the story of this lovely piece. And this is just a rough, torn, vertical border. It's from a paper napkin, and that is Van Gogh's Almond Blossoms. The yellow bird is from Castle's Vintage Birds. I alternated between color layouts and black and white layouts in this book. And even though this is black and white, so kind of austere, it's so pretty. I've got these roses again, from The Girl's Own Paper. They often have flowers going with some sappy poetry. And the butterflies are from it's a vintage magazine from 1842 called Hardwick's Science Gossip. Science Gossip? Sign me up for that. She's from a vintage postcard, and she's also holding a rose here, which picks that rose up there. And finally, I just finished this the other day. It's my previous YouTube video to this one. I have a peacock from a paper napkin. You can see the stamping underneath where it's gone translucent. And then these are actual peacock feathers. As I said, I've got videos for every one of these layouts. So if you missed them and you'd like to see how some of these were made, please just check on my channel here for my Altered Books playlist. You know what? I'm going to link to that in the text below, so you can check that out, or you can just scroll back a few videos and they're all there. If you have any questions or any feedback, please let me know in the comments below. I love to compare notes. Please join me next week. I'm going to have another art tutorial and a pep talk. Until then, happy making.